Where would you like to see some of these then?
I mean, I would just want to see the Marcy offlane because that sounds really
That's
cool.
cool, yeah. Mid support, that's solid.
Interesting.
I want to see that.
We want the most interesting thing to happen.
Do you know what
Not
they built
comfort.
after Helm? Because back in there I
just
saw a lot of Basher.
BKB Basher.
Yeah, lit.
Oh, that's like core items. in Marcy.
Snapfire, yes, yes.
Well, Snap Marcy lane, that's a really good lane.
I'm having such a good time right now.
Just throw the DP mid and last pick a 5 again, whatever.
I don't even care what heroes come out now.
Didn't work for you last game, but maybe it'll work this game.
I'm all on
10
Nigma.
seconds remaining.
Really?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I love. I'm excited to see
5
Marcy. I
seconds
love
remaining.
Snapfire. I don't care about anything on Fnatic side. Mirana Bane, wow, that's so cool and new. Ha!
Oh my god.
Wow, amazing.
You're so harsh on Fnatic today.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, she started today, like, Fnatic,
They're gonna
number 1
2-0.
fan.
I love them. They're gonna carry us through SEA Dota.
I actually would be. It would be nice to see a mid that can set up again for the arrows, because then it gives her leeway to go between the safe lane and the mid.
The Conquer's still in there. Is that a preference you like for this, or is there a more standout setup mid for you?
Maybe.
No,
But I wouldn't like it into the.
DP.
Yeah, exactly. But something
It's still a good OD game, guys.
true. True.
Don't know if the hero's trash at all, but
One way to find out.
they don't know about the null talisman change, clearly. They haven't read the patch notes yet.
Yeah, they don't know Pepper. That's why they were picking Storm Spirit.
Nah, he knew he didn't sell his treads at 25 minutes.
Luna, they're coming out there.
So I saw Nigma, I think, playing Luna in one of their games. So I thought if a team was going to pick it, it was going to be them. I actually can't remember what I saw in Fnatic's match history anymore.
Luna is a buffed hero.
What do they do? Do you know?
Yes,
I
they do.
didn't look.
They
5 seconds
beam does more
remaining.
damage on all levels, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the
Turn
level
to battle.
25 talent stuns 0.05 seconds longer.
No way. Alright, well, this is a free Fnatic win then. Jesus Christ.
That 0.05. Holy heck.
I guess that's nice
It's gonna be a
then,
game
though.
changer.
If she's got like more damage out, she can lane better, and then I don't know what if they are running Marcy as an offlaner, then that just lets her fight back.
Mhm.
Because that's the scariest thing. If you play, I mean, it's actually
10
kind of scary because
seconds
Luna's got such low attack range that it does give her like a way to
5
die in the
seconds
lane if she
remaining. Yeah.
goes up for a
Fnatic's
creep, range
turn
creep,
to
whatever,
battle.
and just gets like disposed back.
Oh, I think Luna will feed if it's Marcy Snap.
Yeah.
Absolutely feed.
No
If they play-
hesitation in the
they play
voice there
the-
either.
I mean, I see it too.
Like, they would have to harass Marcy really hard, like, by just both right-clicking him, so Marcy's never
10
healthy enough
seconds
to make an
remaining.
initiation.
Mhm.
But if they're ever all full HP and level 3, Luna will just die.
Okay. A
That's
little
it.
bit worried for the Luna then
Yeah.
in her matchup.
So I just really hyping it up here. Just want to see
You
it.
are. You are.
DP can go 5 for all I care, just like don't put it offlane. I mean, DP with Marcy would also be very strong too, to be fair.
10
What do you want
seconds
to
remaining.
see for last pick on the side of NGX?
Meatball.
5 seconds remaining.
Silencer.
Oh,
I think so. Silencer.
Yeah.
they think they need a mid on.
It's very good versus
Fnatic.
Timbersaw, very good versus Bane.
That's it.
That's all you
That's
need.
it. That's all you need. That's the only reasons you
I
need
mean,
to pick
it's-
Silencer right now.
Yeah, they need a pos 5. Like, they could go inch if they're boring. It's fine.
Is there a 5 that? So we're thinking this is monkey carry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Timbersaw's in the game. of
Okay,
course.
so is there a support that allows Monkey to kill Timber in lane or like force them
Silencer.
around? Does he actually?
I mean, you don't need to kill the Timber, but
Fnatic's turn
he does
to
good
pick.
damage.
What?
Oh,
Really?
Dragonite, that's a great hero versus
Oh, it's just gonna be
Timbersaw.
Marcy 5 then.
I thought you were gonna say that's a great support, and I was like,
No, that's a very nerfed hero and not a good hero this game at all. And I hate it.
Oh, well that's
Awesome.
cool.
I mean,
Armel Coddle, hey, let's go.
they nerfed the shard really hard. This hero got a lot of nerfs. I don't remember all of them because the list is so long, but I just know the shard got super nerfed,
Yeah, I did.
and they nerfed something else. I don't
Oh,
remember. I was
it's-
just like, wow. Why
Wait,
would
it
you
is
ever
offlane
pick?
Marcy.
Why would you ever pick DK again?
It is perfect. Well,
Alright, we
let's
won.
bring in Lyrical and Gods. Lyrical, I'm gonna ask you, Armel Coddle, but also offlane Marcy. Which one are you more excited for?
That is clearly the Marcy. It's the first Marcy of the DPC. It's happening. We were talking about it, and Gods was like, yeah, the teams probably haven't even scrimmed against this yet because you can't, because it's in captain's mode. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
How do you think it's going to play out, Gods, with that offlane Marcy?
I think this hero is a nuisance. It is so annoying to lane against. Every time I watch this hero and I see pro players streaming, they're just complaining about laning against this hero. So I think it's going to cause some problems, especially a hero like Luna is maybe going to be in for a rough one.
The accuracy is too real, though. I don't know many people that enjoy Marcy. But for you guys, do you think Fnatic's lineup is strong enough to deal with NGX's?
I think this Coddle's going to blow this game wide open.
Okay.
I think this Dragonite is just gonna drag down Nigma's draft
Alright.
too much.
Okay. I'm interested to see then which one it is going to come out on top. But Gods and Lyrical, please take us away for game 3.
Thank you so much. Wonderful panel out there. God, that broke my heart a little bit. I love Dragonite. He's such a nice hero. He's paired together with Marcy. It's the anime. They're fighting against Mirana. You know, it's all coming together.
The gang's
that
back
went, right?
together. Well, I think so. I don't know. Spoiler alert. Season 3. This is season 3 spoilers here.
Exactly.
Mirana turns to the evil side.
True. Yeah, this pesky and Luna's in it too, dude. They're all here.
Yeah,
This is actually so hype. I can't wait. Anime battle.
Exactly. But yes, Marcy in Dota 2. I'm excited to see just how good this hero can be. There's often these heroes that can look really good in pub games and doesn't necessarily translate to pro Dota, but also vice versa. So this will be kind of the first taste of just what Marcy can kind of do.
Right. And that's something that I really want to watch out for is like, what does it look like? You're already seeing a queued up Helm of Iron Will from Mizu. So that's probably going to be the build that, Fear was talking about a little bit. It could be the Helm of the Dominator. Obviously, Armlet, like in the past, had been one of the things that people were going when it was more of like a carry-ish, super mega broken build. But there'll be some interesting things to watch out. The other thing that has been coming around is this revitalization of Dragon Knight. We saw it the other day in like some of the NA games, where like Gunnar was going this like Manta Aghanims on DK that looks kind of cool. I'm curious if they want to go for that like more carry-ish right-click style from Alacrity and how he tries to build this DK.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of what you're saying because I think you can't use it as much as the utility. I mean, the offlane DK probably got nerfed the most with the shard change. I think playing mid or safe lane, I don't know about safe lane DK, but playing more as a scaling carry, that build theoretically doesn't get nerfed by the changes to the shard as much. I mean, you aren't going to be able to farm and build up as well, but ultimately your damage output is going to be around based on your other items.
Right. And you also now have this nice hero to play with, the little sidekick of Marcy. The bonus 65 damage, 50% lifesteal, whether it's against or whether it's with the DK or the Monkey King. Either of these heroes feel like super solid to pair it together with. So stuff to watch for. And then on the other side, Fnatic, again, the more sort of like ho-hum Fnatic draft that we've seen in a while. Bane, Mirana, you got a Luna that's going to farm up stacks. Armel's spamming out waves. We know what they're doing. And what they're doing is apparently disconnecting because they don't want to play this game anymore. Like, hey, we actually let this hero through. What the heck are we doing?
Yeah, Marcy. They're as confused as us. We had the blank overlay. They're just like, this hero's in Dota now? What's going on? They're drafting like it's the last patch. Maybe they didn't realize it's a new patch. Who knows?
There's a chance.
As far as Marcy goes, I looked into Mizu. He has played 9 games on this patch, this 6-3-1 patch with Marcy. I think he had a 66% win rate, so he won 6 out of 9. That's on his main account. What's public? Maybe there's some Smurfs with a few more games. You never know. But it sounded like Fear caught him playing some Marcy. His most recent game, he did the Blink Helm build with like a BK. You're an offlaner, you're going to buy BKB, of course. So it seems likely that is the build that you mentioned with the Helm queued up. Like Helm of the Dominator could come out.
When you said he's played 9 games on this patch, I thought you meant like this patch. And I was like, wow, he must have had a lot of like Shadow Amulet teammmates in those games getting through them pretty quick there. But,
all of the 6-3-1, right? We're on 6-3. Yeah,
gotcha.
7-3-1. 7-3-1
6
Dito.
was a while ago.
Yeah.
You know, it was interesting. I watched through recently like those old videos where they show like all of the collections of patches as they changed like the 7.0 switchover and you know, the reactions to the heroes being released and things like that. And I will say that the Marcy one is one of the cooler ones. This hero in terms of the recent additions feels to me like a sort of unique and interesting hero for sure.
Yeah. Spiced up the game quite a bit. I think just adding what seemed, I mean, not necessarily like always going to be a carry, but it's, you know, it's fun to see some new. Yeah. I think everyone always is like, oh, we need supports, and we added a bunch of supports, and now it's like, okay, let's get back to adding some carries. Let's go.
Armel just said, I'm not mad at you, even you make me lose my pub. There's a lot of talk going on right now. Mizu saying, I play like my rank 250. Nice Storm. There's some good little all chat going on, but all players are back into the game, so hopefully we'll get this underway in a second here.
Yeah, I love the banter that the SEA players have going with each other. Always a good time. Jabs and Boomboy, the two Thailand boys, were also wishing each other some luck and had some good sportsmanship going on here. So we'll see where Game 3 goes. This is the opening series for these two teams, and it is an important one.
Yeah. Really important for, I mean, both teams in a way. If you could manage to sneak away a win here. Ooh, the Lunar Blessing Vision.
30 seconds.
Alacrity run. Get out of there. And the arrow from downtown, but they switch it off. And they just walk away now. Wait a minute. Rebound. Onto 3. This is crazy. Chase is looking for a kill. DJ, they know he spelled arrow. And then the 4-person boundless strike afterwards. Keep going for more. They have another rebound in 3 if they want to chase for more. Any other boundless strike? It's 18 away, but yeah, they chase down, and we'll go for the Nightmare. Switches it off. Scatter blast. Couple more punches, and already off to the races. Will NGX finish this one off? They have another rebound in a second. Does he give the kill over? Boomboy takes it.
Support tax. You know, that's the salve tax. You know, you got to buy more of them, so he'll happily take that one. Great start for NGX getting those kills. First blood going the way of In Your Dreams Monkey King, so he'll be happy with, and also all these 1 charges that you get to go to lane with, a nice little bonus as well, so very solid.
Yeah, that's what they want. Still trading off tangos, even though the salves have been nerfed. You can see that the off laners still getting what they need in that regard. Would love to get into probably a Helm of Iron Will pretty early in this lane for Mizu, because it's just so good at being able to keep you survivable. Not just the regen that you get from it, but also that armor. Super value against this high right click heroes.
Yep. Jump in top with a rebound after securing the range creep. Just some harass though. Using that Scatter Blast plus Rebound to secure the creep and also get some damage on the Raven, but Raven's got plenty of regen plus the 7 stick charges.
I mean, that was a good amount of damage. 90 damage for 70 mana. And then on top of that, he also gets in some punches. Very value. Down bottom, arrow. Going to go out to secure the range creep. And NGX going to pull this wave back underneath their tower, it looks like, or into the other creep wave as well.
Yeah. This is the second time we've seen them do this Timber Mirana, but I think a big part of it is that Mirana's this hero that can secure range creeps, but also not leech XP, because generally, if possible, you want to give Timbersaw solo XP. So Mirana's one of those good heroes to do it. They get the initiation top with the rebound into Dispose, but Genuel, plenty of survivability.
Yeah. Does have a lot of extra regen there, and then, of course, the Brain Sap action that comes out as well, keeping him very survivable. But all of the lanes looking pretty good. I mean, you take a look at what's going on mid here. 11-5 versus the 9-1. Alacrity has been able to get some pretty solid denies. Already 2 bracers finished off for this DK.
And Armel, generally, I feel like almost every time I've seen him play this mid-coddle, he's usually on the Radiant side. I think the way the jungle works, like that double camp over in the far left of your Radiant jungle, just feels a bit nicer. So curious to see how he does on the Dire coddle when it comes to his farming efficiency, since the patterns are just going to be a little bit different, maybe a little bit harder to farm multiple camps at once. But, you know, he's one of the players I think who's played the most mid-coddle of any competitive Dota player, even though it was something that more came out of Europe with Tundra kind of innovating the most with the mid-coddle.
Yeah. And I think that you've seen Alacrity, though, coming up with some interesting answers to it. That Armel's like queuing up his Illuminate Blast, trying to hit it, and then he comes up and stuns, so it doesn't do enough damage to kill off the creep wave, and then he gets some denies there. So a lot of focus on trying to deny out that farm, as you can see, very low there on DJ. And Umbe, does he go in for it? I think this might be the death of DJ. Oh, needed the Crypt Swarm, but wasn't quite there for the range. Doesn't have any more leaps, but gets him from the low ground.
He may just chase him down here. He has another leap, but only one as far as his mana goes.
Super annoying. And DJ still getting chased. Couple more punches. Finally uses the leap and, well, will get away most likely. Yeah, he gets out of there. But it's left a one-on-one of In Your Dream versus Jabs. And 21-6 versus 11-0 for this poor old Timbersaw.
Yep. Mizu top game brought very, very low. One of the kind of smallish buffs did go the way of Luna. An extra 5 damage per level. So +5 at level 1 Lucent Beam, +10 level 2. So, you know, I would say teensy tiny as far as buffs go when it comes to Luna. But where it's going to feel most impactful is those early levels and the lane stage.
Right.
TP top from Mirana. Can they find a Nightmare? They don't have mana on Bane though, so I'm a little surprised by this. Maybe miscommunication, because I don't think DJ would TP up here if he knew that they didn't have a Nightmare.
You can see that down bottom too. They're just keeping this lane in exactly where they want it to be. He's just bringing out up top side that Helm of Iron Will as well. So even though they bring the Bane up top, I mean, well, we'll see. They might be able to get this Nightmare now. Tries to move into position, but they back away. Mizu playing it too safe. And yeah, with the creep wave meeting underneath that tower, it means it's probably, yeah, Raven's going to hold on to it for the moment. They move on in, find him.
Yes.
Takes the arrow for his buddy. Has rebound afterwards. Goes in for the cookie, actually. Mizu going to get away. So this big rotation top does not bear any fruit. And Nigma Galaxy.SEA able to dodge the danger.
And back at mid, Alacrity's just kind of chasing around this Coddle, but top lane they're not done here. Mizu gets the sun out on Januel's Bane.
Needs to be careful here. Rebound in, jumps in, gets the kill. Mizu backs away and trying to hide off through the trees here. DJ moves on in, throws out the arrow, but the Lucent Beam's enough for the kill.
Yeah. I think that's actually a win for Fnatic. Like, trade support for offlaner, and Raven is getting all the farm he needs in this top lane, so they don't mind losing the Bane to kill the Marcy.
So, again, laning stage, for the first time in this series so far, it's gone better for NGX, despite that kill right there onto Marcy. Both of the other lanes doing very, very solid, and Armel needing to keep up his farm. He's going to probably head towards the jungle pretty soon here. Has a couple of stacks waiting for him in the woods. Jump onto Raven top. Spose. Has the scatter blast afterwards. Cookie follow-up. Do they have enough to finish her off, though? Couple more punches, but she's going to group back up with the rest of her team, it looks like. And maybe another rebound to Spose? Do they go for it? Thinking about it. Oh, but there's the Nightmare. And that's
got
the
an
trade-off.
arrow. DJ's waiting.
Yeah, goes for it now. And Mizu in some trouble. Do they go for any more?
They get more.
Spose, and then the runaway.
Dire's middle tower.
Tries to get the
for
bonus
more.
movement speed as well.
Dire's structure
Arrow in
is
3.
fortified.
Chasing, looking for it. Mizu's good.
Doesn't look like it yet. Yeah, just bringing these numbers up top. But at the same time, like, this Timbersaw is having a rough time with the laning stage. I mean, even just with the 2 points in the Jingu, In Your Dream has been able to really punish this bottom lane.
He's getting everything that he wants, feels like.
Nice play by DK. Every time I've looked at this mid lane, it just feels like Alacrity's coming in and being annoying and contesting this small camp. And the problem with, I mentioned the Dire versus Radiant Coddle, is these other camps are just a little bit further away, it feels like. So a lot of your farming is that small camp. Bane top, picked off.
Radiant's
But
bottom
yeah,
tower
the
is
Coddle
under
just
attack.
isn't as effective on the Dire side in the mid lane, is what it seems to me.
And
Dire's
again,
top tower
you know,
is
they're
under
keeping some
attack.
pretty good pressure onto here. You can see that Coddle's farm is still up there, but is a little bit behind the DK. Not by all that much at all, realistically, but keeps on coming in and trying to mess with Armel.
Yeah, Alacrity straight into the Blink Dagger with BKB. No shard queued up, so we'll see if he even goes for it with the pretty heavy nerf. As far as nerfs go, DK shard really one of the biggest.
Yeah. Very annoying. Gets the Invis rune afterwards. Sentry ward immediately dropped down. That signals they know exactly where the ward was placed. And we'll keep on farming up. Still no big movements as of yet. Raven, he's got 3 points up in the Lunar Blessing up top. Has level 6. It takes 1 point in the Moonglaives. And he's trying to back up to farm, it looks like. So
Yeah.
each team likely
Radiant's
pretty
bottom
happy with the
tower
state of the
is under
game.
attack.
Yeah, and we've seen 2 games in a row where Fnatic are generally playing this more economical game with the farm, and once again similar to game 1 with the Timber Draft and 2 other cores that want to farm a lot. Coddle and Luna going Mask of Madness plus Timbersaw. These Fnatic want to hit a lot of creeps. They are still making moves and hoping to kill in your dream down bottom.
This is big if they can get him. Chakram
Yeah.
down, but the heal
Whoa.
comes out, and the pause afterwards. Got some lag coming out there. No points in Whirling Death. Can they make any rotations to save him? They have a couple TPs. That might be the play.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Fnatic, they used all their initial nukes at least. They have another Timber Chain in a second. Maybe if they can hit this arrow, but no guarantee. It looks like they are going to try to chase him down.
Taking a lot of damage. The Blinding Light pushed back. Tries to get him
Still
for the
got an arrow.
kill
Okay.
and able to mischief, but not enough. So they will lose in your dream.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
First
attack.
death for the Monkey King.
Definitely not a tactical pause. I feel like if that pause helped anyone, it probably helped NGX more because they could discuss, oh, do we
Radiant
TP or not?
structures
So
are fortified.
they're going to pressure top though, so they're going to get a bit of a trade here. Meanwhile, Jabs
Dire's top tower is
possibly
under
gets this
attack.
bottom tier on tower. We'll have to see if NGX TP anyone down there. He's just going to be solo pushing this, clearing out, cutting creep waves. Generally, you're just not going to prioritize defending this tower if you're in NGX's
Radiant's
shoes,
bottom
though.
tower is under attack.
DJ skulking towards mid right now. They have Nightmare. Nightmare into Arrow.
got it
Still
off.
a very good combo, but they trade it off. Heads up play right there. Oh boy. Be careful. Pops
Melted
the stick
him.
charge afterwards. Able to live through it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It feels like this last minute or two has gone really well for Fnatic. They've made some nice moves with this Coddle. He's got the Boots of Travel. They've got an arrow set up at top, but no real damage followed up. DK with double bracer treads. Just a little bit too hard to bring down.
Well, and again, you can see this like trade-off of towers that's happened before, pushing out bottom and then also keeping top pushed out. Almost done with this Helm of the Dominator. 150 gold away. Raven will come back in and take over this area, trying to build into his Dragon Lance. And again, top 2 farmers right now are the heroes that do it the best, the Coddle and the Luna,
Oh yeah.
as we might expect.
Bit of maybe miscommunication on the Fnatic side. They've got double Urn with both Coddle and Mirana getting one. It looks like this decision was that Armel will go for the Vessel, so... definitely Armel with his Coddle. He goes all kinds of different builds. I've seen him go for this Vessel build. Sometimes he'll go for, you know, the more E-Blade type builds, but has made this hero like very flexible when it comes to the way he itemizes.
Right. They were able to get that block on this hard camp, though, so we'll see if they come in for the D ward on Fnatic or if that continues to be blocked out pretty consistently. But any way that they can do to try and block this farming going on from Fnatic is going to be a win for Nigma.SEA.
Yeah. It feels like NGX are just trying to match
Radiant's middle tower
some greed
is
with their
under
own greed.
attack.
They've going for the battle for your own Monkey King, but it does feel like they may be under a little bit of pressure to make some moves, particularly around this Blink Dagger on Dragon Knight. This is not an item that's going to allow him to accelerate his farm or really do anything outside pressure the enemy. So that's going to be a timing where they may start considering some kind of smoke rotations to find some kills.
Right. Oh, got to be careful here. This ward scouting a lot of things. But they don't want to dive underneath that tier 2 tower. So In Your Dream will be safe for the moment. And again, getting closer and closer towards his item. They also have a pretty big stack of Ancients up here. But Nightmare available along with Fiend's Grip. We'll see if In Your Dream gets caught here, but he's playing back a little ways. And
they cut the
drop
tree.
it down. Cut him, find him, grip,
Food to travel
done.
into.
There's no way. He's mega dead. Wait, but the turn?
Retaliation,
Okay.
yeah.
Armel, Mizu trying to chase this one here. Has rebound again in a second, but has to be careful. And Raven jumps on in. The jump
Kinda
away,
whips.
but jabs! Gets him with the kill. Oh, Whirling Death still pretty good. They pop the Snapfire ultimate, and actually, with the Centaur, able to find a pretty good amount of damage there onto jabs. Not quite enough for a kill. A free hand there on to the Arrow Alacrity. But Fnatic, you can see they're just barely staying alive right here. They take down 3 for 1.
Yeah, I think Jab's just barely able to sidestep some of those last Mortimer's kisses. I think of like only one of the last 3 maybe landed on top of him. So if just one more hit, he would have died there. But some good movement coming out from the Timber to keep
Radiant's middle tower
Snapfire
is under
kind of
attack.
guessing where he's going to go. And the end result was so good for Fnatic. That initial kill, the heads-up play from Jabs to find the monkey on the tree. And, I think NGX do what they are supposed to there, which is try and retaliate. They know a lot of those big key spells were used and Grip was on cooldown, but they just didn't have the firepower to finish off some of these key kills.
Yeah. And this is going to be some more searching for kills here on the top side of the map.
Yeah.
Fnatic head on into the triangle. Oh, this is going to be huge. But they don't have Luna with them, so they can't take these stacks, but instead going to go for a pickoff here on to the DP and will get her quite easily.
Yeah, I wonder if they consider bringing in the Luna. They're very strong fighting around this Coddle, plus having the Spirit Vessel. They're pinging it, they've got a ward down, so they're at least going to contest it seems. They can also, they can also use Coddle. Like, magic damage still helps here.
They're trying to take it as quickly as possible. Raven, they're moving on in. They catch one, though, right at the start. The stomp afterwards. Genuel, he gets away, able to dodge it. And now the big jump through. Mizu controlled for the moment. Alacrity gets the stun onto one. This is getting very awkward. They don't have anything at all right now. In Your Dream pops the ulti. Alacrity dropping down lower and lower. They do not have the damage that they need on NGX. They can't even kill Genuel. Dodges the rebound, not able to get him. Unleashed, not doing nearly enough. And they jump through again. Mizu gets the kill. Or rather, gets taken down for the kill. Triple for Armel. And just unmitigated disaster for NGX.
Lose the entire Ancient stack, lose the fight, only kill a Bane. Monkey King just can't really come and do a whole lot because he's trying to farm a Battle Fury. This is a problem with these kind of agi Battle Fury carries. Something Fear mentions, like these agi carries on this patch just feel kind of bad unless they can fight early. And Monkey King can fight early. Even with this Battle Fury build, he can fight okay. Like Tree Dance, Primal Spring. There's a reason this series plays support is that you can dish out damage without items, but it just feels not enough when you look at what Fnatic have at this point in the game. They've already hit some key item timings, and playing Coddle with like this kind of level of farm early on, like a Spirit Vessel already, into no one's got BKB. This is early game. Like BKBs just aren't online. It just feels like Armel has a field day dishing out damage.
Well, and now you're just so far behind at this point. 7k gold lead that everything feels so much harder. Because you think about that, if they don't take that fight into there, maybe it ends up working for them. Will go for the cookie, but it doesn't connect. The Mortimer's kisses, do they have enough for the finish? Almost there, and they do. So Raven goes down. Now DJ hiding out in the trees, looking for an arrow opportunity. They won't go for it. Interesting.
One of those overstay your welcome kind of moments, maybe.
Yeah.
Not expecting the NGX vision there. They had a nice ward in their jungle, so I think they, maybe on the Fnatic side, they felt like they dewarded that area, so as a result, Raven gets caught. So a nice kind of response from NGX.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's the thing, is that like in that last fight, everything felt so chaotic. They're like, we have to get there immediately to like, defend our ancient stack, and that just turned into a bad fight, and then the lost ancient stack.
Yeah, that felt a lot more structured when it came to making that move there. They had a lot more info too. Like they could see a couple heroes mid who were poking at the tier 1 tower. They had info of the side lanes. So we'll see DJ get away from an attempted cookie initiation up top. His Mirana sells the urn, goes back for a Yule Scepter now, so looking for some more control, some more lockdown to play around. Pulls that setup for the arrow.
Well, in this timing, you'd love to get a little bit more going on here. In Your Dream,
Nice
will
header top.
he get found and killed? Spirit Vessel right away,
Oh,
arrow off
miss.
the mark. Oh my
That
god.
eliminate though, and here comes Januel.
What?
I was defeated
Dude, that did so much damage. God, the combo of the Solar Bind, Spear Vessel, everything else. This Coddle is terrifying.
Just the patience to stick around there. It feels like Fnatic are just reading NGX, particularly In Your Dream, who's having a really rough game 3. He's got the Battle Fury now. He's holding on to a Philosopher's Stone on Monkey King while dead, just trying to get some gold.
Yeah.
I don't think he keeps that one after respawning, but it's definitely been really rough for him as well. I mean, as well as this Marcy. This Marcy has not had the impact I expected.
No, it's not been able to go the way that they wanted it to at all. Just catching random arrows there. Yeah, I guess that one of the things that's weird is the timings of it just feel all strange. Like you were talking about, Battle Fury Monkey King, same time as Blink Dagger Dragon Knight. And then it's like Helm of the Dominator, but Marcy still wants a Blink Dagger. Snapfire still wants a Blink Dagger. It's like, because they're this far behind now, all of their timings just feel wonky and weird.
The wages of fear.
Things are just not lining up, and that fight bottom was such a tragic one for them too, I think, where they, they lose their monkey and they try and retaliate and just can't quite kill the Timber there.
Yeah.
Mortimer's Kiss is just not quite big enough damage, so they've got to connect on something. They're smoking up through the enemy jungle trying to make a move, but Fnatic themselves have smoked, and they're in the neighborhood ready for this one, and they've got 5 heroes all ready to fight.
Yeah, dangerous times here. There is a ward from Fnatic that's in the river. Doesn't quite scout out the Snapfire, but they're going to find In Your Dream again. Jumps. Didn't quite break the trees, and on the other side, yeah, they get Yoken. He'll go down.
I'll take the free support.
Top tower is under attack.
And then it looks
Marcy?
like back to farming. Mizu, he's being hit by the Solar Bind.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah,
has
he think
fallen.
he TP's away. No, Yule Scepter. Done. Rebound. Won't get you out of that one. Can't quite get there in time.
Radiant's middle tower
Just
is
stuck
under
around too
attack.
long. And they're going to go into the Roshan pit off of that.
Wow. It's so interesting because, again, the story, it feels like, of this series up until this game had been, Fnatic taking an early lead and then NGX, like, being very patient and slow with their moves. And in this game, it's just the couple of those things that Fnatic did threw them off kilter. Fnatic's been playing perfect, and they're now up 10K.
Yep. I really like how Januel's played this game. We see him here just chilling. This guy's a Shadow Amulet perfectionist. Like, he just uses this item so well on his Bane. He's always in some sneaky position, using it with the grip, making it really hard to cancel it, and just getting a lot of good scouting info for his team. Like, he's just a true 5-position support player, which is something for the longest time Fnatic fans were always saying they needed when they had the DJ jab support too. It always felt like they had 2 4s. Now it feels like they found that 5-position player that had been missing.
Yeah, just put them both into, a more farming role. Why not? Sentry immediately gets taken away. And Raven, even though he only has Bane as a backup, it's more than enough to feel comfortable with this BKB. They just don't have anything to deal with it.
He's got the Aegis, and I think the global potential of a Coddle means, like, Coddle can always TP in, and maybe, you never know where maybe everybody is. Oh, In Your Dream.
Dude.
Caught by the Yules.
He just wants this BKB so badly, and it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Caught him again.
They're just so quick to... Every time they see him, they just run towards him. Even if, let's say, they don't get a kill there, or he, like, reads that move and gets out, he's just not farming. So
Right.
feels like they're either finding kills or just pushing him away from farm. His item timings are just so slow this game.
Well, you've got amongst the 3 heroes that want to be battling and doing stuff right now, 3 BK or Blink Daggers done on Nigma.SEA. And it still feels like they can't take a fight. Obviously, with this Aegis in hand, it's so impossible to go into it. But Fnatic are just doing whatever they want this game. And the next couple of minutes are going to be very decisive, I feel like.
Yeah, it feels like one of these games where Alacrity, like, had a good item timing on his Blink Dagger and did everything Rise of DK, and then he probably got his Blink and then looked around. He's like, oh, what do I do now? My Monkey's not ready to fight, nor is my Marcy.
Nightmare out. Depose afterwards. Can't get the BKB off.
Okay.
Oh, that was the change. That was what they needed. Takes down Raven once, but unfortunately, I don't think there's a
Second
round
life,
2
yeah.
here. Not nearly enough left in the tank, and they've already lost their 2 heroes. Fnatic up on the high ground. They did force out the BKB, but the tier 3 is going to drop.
Yeah. See if Fnatic stick around, though. Playing without Aegis or BKB on Luna. Good Nightmare.
Good pushback. Boundless Strike. Cookie afterwards.
Losing
Tries to
Raven.
get her, and they do. Okay, Luna dead, and now when the Wukong's command, Armel also in trouble. Has to run away. Can they bring him down?
Ooh, the amulet.
BKB barely walking out of there. Armel gets away.
I think Shadow Amulet maybe saved his life.
Yeah, a couple of dodge projectiles there. Wow.
Yeah,
That
one
was
of those
wild.
scary moments where it's like, you know, if you're a Fnatic, you're thinking, okay, we've used Aegis and BKB on Luna, but they're down 2. One buys back, and you're like, maybe we can get this tower.
Scanning.
They, you know,
Radiant's
overcommit a
middle
little
tower
bit
is
there,
under
but they
attack.
still they overcommit in a way where their losses is nothing that's going to like turn the game around. Like, yeah, losing your carry, not great. But
Right.
it's at the cost of a buyback on the NGX side, and everyone else at least able to get away. If they lose like 3 or 4 heroes, that's when you're starting to say, uh-oh, that wasn't good.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch if you know, they can replicate that again. But part of the reason that happens is because they're sieging high ground and they're so vulnerable on that Luna, which don't anticipate we see again. But I don't know. We'll have to watch. If you can bait out some BKBs potentially, that's another avenue to find some success for Nigma Galaxy.SEA. Because right now they got 3 of them. Jab's just finishing off his as well.
Yeah, everything kind of came together perfectly there, killing the Aegis at no cost, and then we'll see if they can make that happen again, because, yeah, all these BKBs being online, as you're kind of just mentioning, and I think just, you know, Fnatic, they just got a huge influx of gold to kind of bring out this next level of items. They've got a Dagon, they've got a Crystallis on Luna.
Regeneration.
Everybody just getting more and more fun.
But we did see that other thing there too, though, the nightmare with the Marcy disposed, that it's no longer safe. You can't get your BKB off at the start of that or like in the in-between time. So that's something to watch for. They're gonna have to be careful about. As Courier goes on out and will immediately run away. Any other items that are coming out soon? I guess the shard for Snapfire might be good.
Yeah, I don't really feel like there's anything game-changing. The Monkey BKB was the big one for
Right.
NGX. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot. The Sapphire Shard is something. With Blink Dagger, it's definitely...
Dire's
It's a
middle
playmaking
tower
tool. It
is
could
under
win you a
attack.
fight, you know, if you get a nice Blink Scatter Blast on somebody, so it's not insignificant.
Yeah. I love this Fnatic decision. Double Lincoln Sphere for
Yeah.
Mirana and Raven. That is really cool. Oh, wait a minute. Now in trouble. This
Sugar
foe's
Boundless.
dead. Oh my god. Just
Melted.
sitting on a ward.
Yep. They do throw a lot there, so I imagine Fnatic, the second they kind of get back, they may, after respawning, try and force a fight. No Wukongs, no Mortimers, and some BKBs used. So they're going to have like a 30-second window on respawn, but, you know, it's a Luna dead, so it's a long respawn. So realistically, by the time Luna dies, you've got a very small window to make any plays happen, since it wasn't just a support or 2 dying.
And I mean, I guess the bigger thing also is like more time to farm up and get into those next items for them too. It actually becomes scary. Obviously, Scotty would be great to get into on In Your Dream. Armel still can keep these waves pushed out. He's also building into a Lincoln's. I mean, the majority of these disables are single targets, so you kind of do need it, but that's where the
Dire's
Scatter
middle
Blast is
tower
going to come
is
into
under
play.
attack.
The Boundless Strike will be nice, but you do kind of need that DK to start it all.
Yeah. I've used to play a lot of DK, and I hate it. Playing against Lincolns, it just felt like late game, like every late game, enemy carries would go Lincolns against DK, because it's just like, well, what do? You've got to go for like some kind of halberd or something to break it, or it just doesn't feel good having to break Lincolns.
Right.
And the dispose as well, another
Are
single
scanning.
target stun that's going to be really annoying to play into these Lincolns.
Well, we'll see if they can get into it in time. How far away are we now? Luna should have hers done within the next minute or two. And Nigma Galaxy.SEA, it's going to be the timing when Roche is capable of respawning. They'll have Exorcism back up, trying to go straight into a BKB for Boombe as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's, I guess, just like on 5 position, just wants to tank so he can run in and try to do exorcism damage. But yeah, having everything back up for this potential Roshan fight. This game, you know, it's been all Fnatic up until that last, like, couple of skirmishes. It does feel like there's a hope for NGX at this next Roshan fight now that they've got these BKBs. Monkey King's ready to fight. He's online. There's not really anything they're missing. So if there's a time to fight, it is going to be at this next Roshan.
Oh, and they have the Aether Lens on Marcy too. So longer range potential disable. They really need to get in before these Lincolns though. And it's coming out right now. So at least the first one will be there for Luna. And if they don't see this in time, this is going to be really hard to deal with. I'm not even sure what you try and use.
Yeah, I don't think they've got any good spells to break it with. They've got nothing really to break it with. Does Spirit Siphon break Lincolns?
I think it does, yeah.
Not that it's a great spell. It's not an easy spell. It means your Death Prophet has to frontline and probably dies to do that. But
Yeah.
it's at least an option.
See if Raven reveals himself here. Oh, there's the BKB. Stun?
It's not the ideal BKB because it just means Fnatic will disengage.
Yeah.
I think a moment, maybe slight overreaction or over panic from Alacrity there.
Quick little arrow connects. Gets some good vision here. And does that BKB alone give them enough? Oh, it's 2 minutes till Roche anyways, so they're going to be fine.
It is a long respawn. So if they were planning on just giving up Roshan because of the BKB, they will be able to breathe a sigh of relief that Roche is not going to be going the other way. In your dream also. Yeah. That's 2 force now.
I mean, I guess if you're going to give up Roche for 1, then you might give it up for 2 too.
Yep.
Radiant's
But
middle tower
still,
is under
minute
attack.
50 on the timer, and Fnatic are gonna be like, man, wish we could get a Roshan here, but not the case.
No such luck. It does look like Alacrity is going to be going for that Manta build again. So this has been that like recent innovation that we've seen a couple of different carries go for. You pop it when you're going for the Elder Dragon form, send those illusions around. Kind of nifty.
Yep. Definitely don't mind this. I think it gives him some good scaling potential. We expect an Aghanim Scepter maybe afterwards. I guess he's hoping his team finds a way to take a Roshan, like that gives him a free Ags, but that's not till much later on. He's down bottom in some trouble.
Rebound, jumps away. Has the blink out if they need to.
Yeah, not sure why Jabs thought he had to BKB there.
I guess DK showed up. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Top lane meanwhile, Jocam. TP's out. Yeah,
Have some
kind of a
vision.
game of cat and mouse right now where NGX is trying to split push.
They find one. Bane dead. They should get this D ward afterwards too. So now BKB used on Timber and then also Bane down. Roche gonna respawn in 30 seconds.
It's crazy because it felt like Fnatic were doing all the right moves to secure a free Roshan. You know, they force back-to-back free BKBs and then they'll just twiddling their thumbs by the pit like, oh, there's no Roche. I guess we got to go do something else. So they tried to stop the split push and they didn't kill anyone stopping the split push, and in the end, while while they're trying to stop the split push, they're splitting up themselves, and that led to the Bane getting found and picked off.
Right.
That's where the split push can be so effective because it forces your opponents who are trying to go for a key objective like Roshan to not play together as a team, and NGX have some great pickoff for when that happens.
They have good vision in this area though on Fnatic. This ward's still 1.5 minutes left on it. DJ scouts up top side. Yokam is not going to be found, it looks like though. And a full Hex done on the Timber. So Blink Hex again is the build that Jabs is going for. Very cool.
Yeah. Big fan of this build. I mean, it's particularly good against just these teams that, I mean, how against BKB. It's the way you can initiate in and that kill somebody, burst them down before they pop BKB as the Hex.
And in your dream, he has queued up the Aghanim Scepter, also has Scotty in the quick buy. So we'll see which one he decides to go for. I think either is pretty nice.
Yeah. Not sure which one necessarily is better. He'd love to obviously have both, but this is just Roche number 2, so it's just going to be the free Ag shot for whoever manages to get it. And it does look like Fnatic may just be able to walk their way in and find themselves with a free Roche uncontested. It's being pinged out, but no signs of NGX moving that way.
Interesting. So yeah, they're actually just cool giving it all up here. Not what I would have expected.
Yeah, they've even got vision down for it, but I guess they just feel like they need more farm.
Yeah. Mizu's getting towards the Aghanim Shard on Marcy, which is that weird one where you start auto-casting to throw the targeted unit instead of rebounding off of them. So it's like a front flip thing.
Very acrobatic hero.
Good TP out. Oakham there. Able to hide. That was really close. They're just so freaking farmed on Fnatic. Like, they've held this lead for a very long time. And, you know, obviously the lead starts to matter less as you get towards higher, you know, net worth values. But this is still pretty scary times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, particularly something like Mizu doesn't feel like a core in many ways. Like, Aether Lens, Force Up. This is all you do. This feels like a 4-position build. So it only feels like Dragon Knight and Monkey King are the ones scaling into late game, and DK is just a little bit underfarmed to feel like that scary late game DK for now, at least.
Yeah. Well, obviously the nice part that they'll have is the sidekick, giving extra bits of, you know, damage and lifesteal, which will be nice. And they have the Aghanim Scepter completed on Monkey King. Alacrity has not quite gone in all the way for the Manta yet, obviously wanting to save for buyback. But it does bring up a question, which is, when do Fnatic actually want to push? Like, do they... We saw what happened last time they went high ground, where they lost Raven. And granted, it's not like that's going to happen like necessarily again, but they do have to be careful with how they push.
Radiant's top tower is under
I think
attack.
they're at least seem okay to kind of slow roll it. I think having Raven in the front lines, ideally you just need to be ready to counterplay, like whether it's a nightmare save, find some way to not let him just get you can't let his Aegis get bursted and poked away at for free. If they're going to take the Aegis, you need to make sure they commit some like big ultimates or spells for it that you can kind of like, you know, disengage from. Like the Monkey King and the Death Prophet ultimates, you just want to have them go on cooldown, and then if you lose an Aegis, that's fine as long as you can reset the fight.
They're playing so safe. It's wild.
Yeah. It's tough. Going high ground into these heroes is just a very tough ask.
They have the double Lincolns again, which they're throwing on Raven, but they don't want to go up. They don't want to test it. I mean, we'll see if this comes back to bite them. Fnatic, there's been a couple of these games where they go late and, you know, things fall apart when stuff gets crazy. We'll see if the similar thing happens here. But this team is so strong right now.
It is. I mean, the lead is growing, because you were talking about how it's kind of stayed the same around that like 14k gold. This time it's actually growing as they kind of, you know, they farm the map with the Aegis.
Oh, pushed Hex immediately. Done.
Wow.
Triple Lincolns. Yeah, that'll do it. And suddenly no initiation comes out enough.
Yeah, I guess Snapfire thought she could like force that back to safety, but that insta blink Hex just deleted her. They're doing such a good job with Fnatic, chopping down these trees on the side, using arrow to scout, making sure that there's not any kind of surprise initiation coming in, also making it so that Monkey King can't use those trees to his advantage.
Raven gonna get chunked a little bit, but still fine with the way this is going, down to half HP. But if you've got all those Lincoln Spheres, not easy to get an initiation going. And In Your Dream goes off to farm a little bit more.
Yep. It's hard to keep pushing. Okay, they've got salves. I was about to say, they haven't got great sustain for the Luna here. Bane with quadruple salves. I think that's from some good shoveling.
Nice. Love to see it. Ready for a blink Hex here from Jabs. Finds him right away on Alacrity. Force Staff. Spose also keeping him fine. Pops the BKB on the DP. Oakham goes down. Does have buyback. Might need to use it here. They did pop BKB on the Death Prophet, but no Exo yet.
When T3 goes down, that's where Luna starts to eat buildings alive.
Stun, Lincoln's, BKB, no answer for anything. And Raven just gonna pop the ulti, have to jump away with everybody else. They pop the Wukong's command down on the ground. And we'll just wait this out, I think.
Yeah, I think they just walk back in. No tier 3 tower, so Moonglave's gonna start bouncing all over the place. You can't come near against these glaives, it feels like.
No, they're just getting dropped. Dude, the Lincoln Sphere stacking is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Radiant's top barracks.
It's definitely a good time, and this is post nerf. This item went from 12 to 14 seconds. More than 10% increase in that cooldown.
Spose. Lincoln's passed over again. BKB out. Do they have enough damage? Jumps in with Mizu, but the grip is there. Force Staff, everything trying to stay alive, but the grip is still there. Mizu has to run all the way back to Fountain now. 23,000 gold lead. And it's just like an oppressive walk down that's going on from Fnatic.
Yeah. These heroes in the front lines, the ones that they let you initiate on, Whether it's with that like blink scatter blast from the Snapfire or the dispose from the Marcy to try, reposition you. It's always these heroes you just don't want to go on and just can't kill. Like a Timbersaw or a Luna with an Aegis. There's just no killing them. And they don't have the best way to jump the backlines, it feels like, to kill the pesky Bane, Mirana, even the Coddle. Coddle's tanky, but you'd love to, kill Armel to start a fight.
Dude, they're building another Lincoln Sphere.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
This has got to be the most annoying thing for NGX. It's like they built this draft that has some really cool parts to it, but then, everything's single target.
Yep.
Just get rocked.
It's like they're super key spells a single target. Like Dispose and Dragon Tail are like these key spells that will allow you to start a fight and win a fight. So Lincoln's is just kind of ruining their party.
That's tough. And you can see Monkey King. He knows what he's got to do. In your dream, off on the other side of the map, get the Spell Prism, and we'll try and farm up the rest of this. Although Courier going over to the side spots that there was a Monkey King statue there. Raven.
Doesn't seem like they care right now.
DD, double Lincolns, and then his own Lincolns on top of it.
Yep.
Jump in. Hex finds one. Follow-up stun. Cookie afterwards. Dispose. Trying to bring him down. Jabs. Dead. Okay. So Fnatic getting a little bit too far ahead of themselves there.
Yeah, a little just uncoordinated, I think, team fighting there. It looked like Raven was just trying to focus the buildings, and once the creep wave died, he was backing off as Timbersaw blinked in with the Hex. So just doesn't seem like everyone was on the same page. I think they should just be, waiting for the next creep wave, poke at the tower. But Exorcism is now down. Dragon Form is going to be down soon as well. So if they want to stick around, they can. But 60 seconds on Timber. Potential. It feels like they just lost the Aegis, but another Roshan in the next 1 to 3 minutes. So realistically, if you're Fnatic, the safe play is it's always going to be wait for Roshan if it's about to spawn.
Yeah, if he can make it work. I'm getting some more items too. These big tier 4 neutrals, also super valuable if they can farm them all up. Raven is still impossibly farmed right now. Doesn't quite have that level 25. They've been sticking together a lot. That XP lead isn't quite as significant as the gold lead is right now, but still really hard to deal with.
We'll see. Some of the level 25s already out, and a few more coming soon. Just the Coddle so far, and this game will settle down. But I don't know if NGX can just make those moves out towards the Roshan, but it feels like without the vision and with how strong Fnatic have gotten now, that it may just be another uncontested Roshan to go Fnatic's way. And this one's going to have that Rosh number 3 bonus, that Acceptor or Refresher Shard.
Yeah, they kind of feels like they need to get back to that pick-off style that you were talking about. Because, in a way, if they get set up and Fnatic can just walk down a lane at you, the game is so difficult. It's just where Fnatic has been excelling. But it almost has to be in these weird moments where they can catch people off guard if they want it to work.
Yep.
Okay. It's quite a hefty lead right now. 3% there on the win probability.
Lincoln's number 4 is up. There we go. Bane, it's your turn.
He'll get it next, surely. Now, the Manta send those illusions out, trying to farm it, push out the lanes. Fnatic reveal themselves on the ward, gets the D ward right afterwards. So they are claiming this area of the map. 1.5 minutes left until Rosh will respawn.
Bit of a longer one, but not something. I mean, Fnatic's happy to just keep getting a little more farm on some of these heroes. Maybe, get some buybacks that don't exist right now. Question is, what do NGX do? They've kind of smoked out as if they want to reclaim some of this map. They're in their own jungle, which to me is a little bit of an odd place because it suggests they don't want to contest Roshan if they're smoking out there. It says they're trying to either farm or maybe get in position just for some split push. I think that's where they found success earlier, was the pickoffs that came from split pushing. So don't mind the idea of them split pushing, but just doesn't feel like this smoke achieved a whole lot. But we'll see.
No,
now they're not even trying to hunt for these kills.
No, they are comfortable. They know the way to win this game hang out on a high ground, wait for somebody to show up, find a pick off, and if not, then you can get Roche eventually. And that does not feel like the situation has changed from where we were previously. Also, Jabs now hits level 25, so 20% whirling attribute reduction on 3 strength heroes here.
Yeah, that's a nice little pickup.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Lunar Blessing damage gotten for the Luna now. And the 25k gold lead, 10 more seconds till Roche is up. We'll have to see where they want to go, and if Fnatic just want to run on in. They will spot Armel on this ward here, so that signals that there's no Coddle in this fight.
He can get there so fast.
Yeah.
So either by running or boots of travel.
True.
I guess he needs something to TP too, but just feels like, you know, heroes like Luna and Timbersaw can hold their own on the front lines for long enough to let Armel arrive. But here we go. Roche respawns, and it seems like all signs point to NGX embracing the turtle. They are going to be chilling in their base. No interest. When you smoke out to farm, that basically is saying we have no use for this smoke. We're not trying to smoke and contest Roshan. Let's just use it to leave our base, to get some wards down, to hunt some couriers, whatever it may be.
They got the Philly. They're good to go.
Yep. Who's got that? I saw Marcy with it early to finish some items. It's on Snap
right now. Oh, smoke up now. This is an
up.
interesting time.
Yeah, I don't feel like... I mean, they surely would have expected Roche. I mean, they have no vision near Roche, so they surely knew that it could have been dead for some time now.
Well, they are now going to be smoked inside their own base. Also, Mirana's picked up a Wind Waker. So even more save for this team.
Yep.
Making sure that they can keep Raven alive at all costs. And will Fnatic finally decide to go up and try and end this game here? It looks like it. They got 25 on In Your Dreams. Smoke will break. Boundless Strike. All the stuns. Gets the dispose off in the Wukong's command ring, but the BKB comes out. But he's still getting absolutely eviscerated by In Your Dream. Dude, Scotty pretty good. A Fiend's Grip onto the freaking DP, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Wind Waker out, trying to kill him off in time. Now the big old pop. The stun is there, and Raven about to go down and dead. 25k gold lead for what? Yep. They just run him down.
Now he's back to base.
Oh my god.
This is why we turtle. This is the way to go if you're NGX. You know?
They got a range
back
Rex.
and wait. This is as some of the issues with Luna. It's like, yeah, the hero kind of pushes well, but also being like a short range hero, you have to put your body on the line against repositioning stuff like the dispose. It feels rough.
Dude,
Monkey King also just destroys you. That Monkey King ultimate was like plop right down on top of the Luna, and that's where the Aegis doesn't help you because you're respawning. It's still there if the fight hasn't gone for too long.
I don't know. I wonder if it was just smashing Spirit Siphon onto the Luna. That might have been what it was. Oh, that's kind of cool as a way to deal with all those Lincolns.
And with the BKB, this Death Thrower was just ran in on the front lines. He tanked the full duration grip. And lit. Like, even if he dies there, I think you're okay with that if you're NGX. Your 5 position, running in with BKB, breaking some Lincolns, and getting grip means that nobody else is getting grip, so no problem for them.
I mean, I don't know how to feel about this, Parker. I'm not sure exactly. Like, constantly, I thought this game was over. I thought we were going to be doing the outro right now, if I'm going to be real about it. And they've been able to hold on to it again. I'm a little concerned for Fnatic's ability to end this game.
Yep. We've had a 40-minute game, a 50-minute game, and this one's looking like it could, go a bit longer than 50 with Fnatic's high ground struggles. You have because usually the response to a struggle like that, you had Aegis and everything. You're like, well, I guess we wait for another Roshan? Question mark. Like,
right.
You gotta wait for at least 5 minutes there, but before that can happen, Fnatic do want to smoke out. Maybe thinking that. I mean, realistically, the big problem is your enemy have the high ground advantage. They see everything. They can position well. You want to find a pickoff if you're Fnatic to go for a high ground push.
Right. Interesting. I think that this is about to be an Octarine done for the DK now as well. Are they really gonna go for a high ground push right here? This would be crazy. There's no way they can step up to this high ground. I mean, if they get a good fight, this is very bold. This is very bold.
I think they want to jump someone like Marcy, since Marcy doesn't have buyback. They know she used it a couple minutes ago, so they are going to expose Luna.
This seems crazy to me.
Blink
All right, big
Hex.
jump in. Can they get him? Hex is
Nice
there
force
afterwards,
off.
tries to walk away. They have another full
The
duration grip onto
Oh,
DP
okay.
and will kill her off, but has buyback, no BKB afterwards. But it looks like they're going to call this good. And Fnatic,
Radiant's middle
they
barracks
rotate
has
again?
fallen.
Oh, and this tier 3 tower is very low, so they'll be able to get to these Raxes and potential mega creeps very fast here.
Arrow
Radiant's
jumps
bottom
away.
tower
Yokum doesn't have blink now. A hard fight to take. They're breaking the blink daggers as well with those glaives, but the big stun onto 2. Dispose afterwards. Raven forced to jump out of there. Fnatic trying to get jabs away, but you can look at this. The damage dealt to the towers, it's only the melee racks left.
Yep. It's one rack standing between Fnatic and mega creeps here. That's not necessarily game over, but it does put Nigma.SEA really on the back foot if that happens, but still potential. I mean, we've seen NGX.SEA just going to sit back and ride the waves here of the Fnatic onslaught, and they're still keeping themselves slightly in this game.
Yeah, I mean, by a sliver, just an absolute sliver. They keep on spamming out these Manta illusions over and over again. Fnatic, they're ready for another round.
The poke continues.
Find him.
Jabs will be looking for another Blink Hex, ideally on one of those backline heroes or someone like a Monkey King. Doesn't really want to go in Alacrity's DK.
Jumps in. BKB, but a force keeps him alive.
Yeah.
At Hurricane Pike. And that's another BKB use. This time the Snapfire's newly completed one. Moonlight.
Shadow. They've got the sentry though, so this shouldn't catch anyone by surprise.
Raven, ready to walk in. Spamming those out. Jump
There's the
forward.
Hex.
Hex again.
Arrow. Oh,
Exposed,
misses.
keeping him alive. Boombell, oh my god, just gets eviscerated though. And they do get Megas, but do they stick around forward? Januel BKBs and just grips right away onto the Monkey King, but he's fine. Lacrity backs out now. Oh, gets dropped down. Wasn't able to save him. Mizu in trouble now as well. Dead again. 100 seconds without the Marcy. And they need to do this all alone. It's only the Monkey King, DK, and Snapfire. In Your Dream wants to stop the carnage, but will it happen in time? They force step away Raven. All the Lincolns drop down on his head. Januel will die, but the follow-up is just not there. They lose the Monkey King. He drops down, has buyback, but it is feeling like a fool's errand at this point as they keep chasing in for more, set their sights on the throne, and Fnatic, though it takes a while, they will end up winning this game. What an absolute clinic from them. And it just fell apart from those early goings.
Yeah, things just. I think in the early game, it was that defense of the ancients, the Radiant
Nice.
Ancients, where Fnatic just they came in with a smoke gank, scouted them out, and they're like, "Hey, we can take these. We have a Luna, we have a Coddle with an early Spirit Vessel who's super strong," and NGX just needed a bit more time before they could come online. That Monkey King going for the Battle Fury just didn't really match the pace that the game needed to go. I think particularly the DK got this fast Blink Dagger and just didn't really have any good heroes to play around because Marcy, the new hero of the patch, didn't have the best time.
No, the laning stage, actually, ironically enough, was the thing that kind of fell behind a little bit there. And then, as we talked about, those couple of fights early on before things really came online. So a disappointing result for the Marcy lovers out there. It's how it goes, though. I'm sure people will keep on messing around with this hero and make it solid. But Fnatic, they end up overcoming, going down 1-0 in the series and win the next two. Still pretty impressed with Nigma.SEA, though.
Yeah, I think, at least as far as the start of their 2 or 3 campaign goes, it's something they can look at and, feel like they were in this one. Particularly game 1 and 2 were both very close neck-and-neck battles. I think game 3 was the one where they maybe have the most to learn from because things went awry, but they held their own against one of the top teams of their region.
Well, top teams of the region looking solid. We'll be back in just a few with the panel to break down all the action. We'll see y'all then.
A massive props to Fnatic as they do take Game 3 and their opening series in 2 or 3 here. Absolutely outstanding performance. That Marcy, like you said, there's no need to ban it, Fear. Absolutely no fear of it now. So
No
everyone else
fear
watching
at
there,
all.
no
No fear.
No fear.
Definitely no fun. No, I do want to talk about the Marcy a little bit because obviously she is new. I want to know from your point of view, Fear, if that's exactly how you expected a Marcy performance to go, or if she was a little bit underwhelming for you.
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, there's not enough like sample size to like understand
Nope, this
like
one game. You gotta tell me all.
what we can expect. I think in general, like it was pretty hard for the Marcy this game, just because the Mirana ended up making her way to that top lane fairly early on in the game. I think they were a little too aggressive, and I'm really starting to realize a lot of these teams don't know what to do about like the salve situation, because Marcy got really low in that lane, and normally your Pulsifer might just like heal you up while you're on your way to that Helm of Iron Will, but she just stayed pretty much at like 30% health for like what felt like 2 minutes and couldn't be aggressive, and then Mirana rotated over and just really just slowed down like her tempo there.
Okay.
Yeah, even after getting the helm, she's just stayed there on low health all the time. Maybe she thought it was enough to sustain in lane. It was not.
It's to be determined if that build is the correct build, or if just doing standard offlane items and just getting like phase boots and a BKB might be better.
Either way, it was very interesting to see her. Do you think NGX's playstyle and I guess the way that they played as a team in this game 3 is reflective of how they were in game 1 and 2 as well, or do you think that maybe they dropped the ball a bit?
I think you can answer that if you want.
I don't know. I feel so stressed watching Fnatic play this series. It was kind of similar to watching Boom play. It just feels like they're not as dominant as we've seen them be in earlier tours, and like I think on like that you can always criticize a team and be like, oh, you know, they were like #1 by a large margin and now they're not. Actually, I just think the skill level, at least in this series, is just rising of everyone on the team. I think Nigma, even though they lost, like made really good moves. They were able, like their defenses of their high grounds were pretty good. They were pushing back Fnatic. Obviously there's like throws to be had, but they definitely take advantage of the moments. Like game 2, I think especially was just the shining like thing for me for Nigma. I just looked at them as a team there and I was like, yeah, they deserve to be in Div 1. That was like really good Dota.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the issue with Fnatic when we were watching this game was kind of their high ground pushes. They always had this ever-growing lead. They were kind of always in front with the gold net worth, but they just struggled every time they were pushing high ground. And why is that?
Well, they overestimated, like the Luna went high ground, right? She just like kind of just goes in first and kind of like thought she's immortal because she has the biggest immortality, I guess, but she wasn't. Like they chain stunned her and then she respawned on top of like a Monkey King ult. It was just kind of like they didn't have like a backup plan to like save her if things went wrong, pretty much, and it was just not the best read. But I think they're a little impatient and they just wanted to try and end the game, but in reality it just delayed the game even further.
Yeah, in general it just felt like acts of cockiness as well, like Luna farming the enemy's ancients alone. She got picked off by Nigma there. They made like a really good move in there just to kill her, and there's no support breaking smokes or like protecting her. Like you can't just farm there alone. Like these sorts of things like really set them back as a team and their timings. If they just played it patient, farmed it up, took rows, game maybe ends much faster for them.
Look, it's something for Fnatic to definitely think about. But we are on a little bit of a time crunch. It means we're unfortunately not going to get an interview with anyone from Fnatic, but it does mean the day of SEA Dota is done and some Eastern European action will be coming our way. But first, we're going to jump to a break.